The Target Series Season 3 was wild. We saw so many wrecks. We saw some great finishes, as you saw in the last video. This could be the top 20 crashes from Season number 3. There were so many crashes that we couldn't narrow it down. We had over 20 crashes to choose from. We narrowed it down to the best 20. So instead of the best 10, you're getting double that. The best 20 crashes from the Target Series Season number 3. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's a wild one. We see many flips, a lot of hard hits. Only one came out on top. And let's see what it is as the top 20 crashes from the Target Series Season number 3. Oh, he hits it, Jonathan Rain. Reigns goes around. Marshall also going around front of the field. Now Alex Stewart spins up into the middle of the pack. Any chasers involved? I do not see any chasers involved. The yellow comes out for a huge wreck. Sometimes it doesn't work here in Texas as cars pop off the wall. Reigns does that and pops down into Griffin Lynn. But then there's even more trouble when Jack Marshall gets spun into the inside wall hard with Alex Stewart and Dale Petty. And then they start sliding up the track. And then Griffin Lynn and TJ Hanley make contact. They somehow avoid Tyler Lyman. Look at him. Whoa! Look at Jay Jefferson. And then all the cars go to the top. And there is nowhere to go up there. Hard contact with a lot of these cars. And somehow no chasers involved in that. Reigns go down spin. We have to go on board with TJ Hanley, Jay Jefferson, Tyler Lyman, as they did a great job of avoiding this. Same with Gary Mann on the bottom. Man, oh man. And Jeff Bright been getting really tight off the corner. You can see it does it again, and this time he gets Jay Parker hard to the outside wall. Goes Barker. Tommy Turbo had nowhere to go. Crash. Eli Bright will drive on by. Barker still hitting Jeff Bright. And here comes some of the other cars, and Tim Gary will nail Jeff Bright hard. That goes up and collects Riley Sprague to Jason Smith Jr. rear ends the 79 hard. Michael Gregory, Timothy Heath, and Gregory gets lifted off the ground by Jonathan King. Yellow comes out for as Jay Parker was involved. Gregory, Riley Sprague tube also got damage in that. So 3 of our chasers. And you see Lyman goes onto the apron, comes up, and Jonathan Beeford's there, and they nail the outside wall hard. And they come back down the track. Paul Minnick and Jonathan Reigns have nowhere to go. Lyman does drive away. And then Jay Parker coming in, the 15, he nails him. The 15 lifted off the ground. Lyman does drive away. Hopefully he can keep it in the race. Here they come to the tunnel. Yeah, that was some big contact there by the... Oh! Behind him! Hanley up and over! Hanley is on his lid and rolling down the track. Paul Minnick has hit the inside wall. Crash B-Fan, Tommy Turbo is sitting backwards. Hanley is still sliding on his roof. The caution will come out. The 44 never flips back over. And Hanley just got clipped by an innocent bystander. Goes up in the air, up and over. Cars going by on the inside trying to avoid it. Some back there having to stop and check up and not get hit. Hanley gets hit a few times by Timothy Heath. Jefferson drives through the middle. Cars back there. Paul Minnick, Tommy Turbo, Crash B-Fan. Jonathan Reigns had damage. Just a wild mess. Trey Rainey able to avoid it. See how wild of a tumble that was for the 44 right there. Thought was going to go back over right here, but it just keeps on its lid. He gets hit a few times, which I'm surprised still didn't flip him back over, and in fact it just makes him spin around like a top even more, and definitely not what you want to see when you're upside down hitting the ground hard. Oh, they contact in their wall! The leaders are wrecking at the front of the pack, the big one at Daytona! It looks like Turbo's trying to move over and side draft off of Marshall. Marshall got clipped by Turbo. Yeah, Turbo just clipped Marshall, and look, it got Eli Bright just a little bit. Eli was sideways, but he kept it going straight. Keith Powell, Kevin Bandon. Bandon gets away, Hunter Arnsdorf. Jefferson is sideways. Jonathan Reigns, Arnsdorf grows up and hits the wall hard. He gets Ramos, Jeff Bright, Jason Smith Jr. Cars drive by on the inside, but they're still wrecking. And then the cars come flying in. Look at these guys. Flying in, Sprague tubes up in the air. Gambit spins out. Trey Rainey is involved. Arnsdorf gets hit by the 60 car. Look at all this carnage up here. Still happening. We'll go on board with a few drivers first. If Eli Bright gets spun, this whole wreck is different. This whole race is different. Eli gets spun down possibly into the... let's look at this again. See how close it is. See, Eli almost gets spun right there. He got clipped. He keeps it under control, but if he spins, everyone else is going with him, and we might see a different winner here. See, Hunter Bob, TJ Hanley drive through amazingly. I don't know how they did that. John Gambit hits Jay Jefferson hard. Comes to the lines. They spin behind the... Oh, my gosh! Jay Barker's upside down and flipping. And Smito kind of spins out there, and he comes down to Jay Parker as nowhere goes, spins out. Then Chris Dodd flips the 92 hard. Hunter Bob nowhere to go, and that might take the 34 out of this race. Gary May might have gotten some damage back there. We'll have to look back there and see what happened. But Jay Barker takes a wild ride at Richmond. He goes upside down, barrel rolls, comes back on all fours, of all places. Right there, flips, and then Chris Dodd kind of clocks the track. I'm wondering if Gary May got any damage from that or others. Actually, there's May going by. Oh, they make contact. Samito Jr. out hard into the wall. Teammates make contact. Now they're sliding in. Junior Ramos, Timothy Heath also come in. The yellow will come out. There are more cars. A lot of cars have slid in here. Hanley, it looks like he was trying to stay on track, and he hits Samito Jr. They're teammates. Then the 19 goes out. Look at this hard hit. Oh. And then other cars start sliding in. You can see Junior Ramos, Timothy Heath go over the curb. I don't know if they also... It looks like they might have been checking up. Schoen's gone to the back of Jay Barker. Ramos hit the wall. Timothy Heath. Cars are going by. And then others start sliding in. Paul Minnick slides in. Hits Schoen's. Jack Marshall. Who else is that? Gary May. And then the one of Chris Dodd slides in there. That's insane, man. That's a lot of cars. Which lane goes? Oh, look out! Riley Sprague in the wall hard! Jonathan Rains also involved. The caution will come out. And I'm trying to see if he should have been higher. This angle. Jonathan Rains is way up against the wall. Schoen's is coming down trying to make the corner. And gets into Riley Sprague. I would put that on Levi Schoen's right there. Timothy Heath trying to get it slowed down. I think he's going to be able to get it going though. And then Sprague spinning now down the track. I think he's going to get nailed by Tim Gary. Oh my goodness, that's a hard hit. That is a really hard hit. Jeff Bright able to sneak through the middle. Jay Jefferson, Brady Wormnest, Dale Petty. And these guys were the ones that got trapped by the lap cars. Look at Dan Bannon and Luke Rainey. It's not going to stay like that. We'll go on board with Sprague too, but man. And then right here he's going to get nailed by Tim Gary sliding down the track right there. Oh, Jeff Bright's up and over. Down, tumbling down the backstretch. Bright kind of came up off the middle just a little bit and crash hooked him. They couldn't get unhooked and hard into the wall for both of them. Bright flips, tumbles down the backstretch. Jay Barker was actually still in the middle of this, man. See everyone trying to avoid. Oh, Kevin Band nowhere to go. Timothy Heath, a hard hit. Jay Barker had to stop. Jefferson, look at all the positions he gains. That could be very, very beneficial. Hard to the wall, and that's going to set up a late race restart. Jonathan Rains able to avoid it. That could help him make the chase. Bandon hard hit, man. Ooh, Lyman into the wall hard in the backstretch, and they're wrecking again. Eli Bright involved. And others. Junior Ramos hard into the inside wall. Jim Gammett again. Chris Dodd. Junior Ramos has a big run. No time to lift. Lyman spun into the outside wall. Comes down. Eli Bright gets it right there. Dale Petty gets it. Alex Stewart. Junior Ramos. Tommy Turbo. Chris Dodd. Hard lick into Jim Gammett. Then bounces off the wall. Just a tough break for these guys. Looks like that was a vicious crash for Chris Dodd and Jim Gammett. Jim Gammett in a wreck again. And he has another onboard, remember. Oh, there they go! A car up and over, and Trey Rainey's also involved. And it's Jay Jefferson who was on his lid. Caution out. And then look at Jay Jefferson go up and over. Alex Stewart. Keith Powell had nowhere to go. Timothy Heath got some damage from Eli Bright and others. And man, Jay Jefferson took a wild ride. Hope he's okay. As we'll look at this wreck again. We have a few onboard cameras to look at. Jim Gammett around it with Paul Minnick. Minnick spinning down the track. He gets hit by Tim Gary. Up and over he goes. And they're wrecking big time. Trey Rainey, Levi Schoen's had nowhere to go. And Minnick just kept coming up. Alex Stewart kept coming up. They go around. Gambit hits down into the inside wall. Tim Gary flips Paul Minnick. That's a horrible flip for Minnick right there. Cars go around. Nancy Hunter, Bob, Anthony Wendler, Timothy Heath goes flying. Levi Schoen's, Trey Rainey, possibly Luke Rainey, Josh Crash. That was like many different wrecks. We saw like this happen, and then up ahead it happened, and then happened behind. That it just happened everywhere. You see Timothy Heath going around, cars sliding everywhere, cars trying to go around the outside to avoid it. Wendler slides up trying to give Rainey enough room. They're making some contact. Into the wall and around. Dodd's involved. A chaser. any others. TJ Hanley has gotten damage. Oh, huge hit. Jonathan Reigns hard to the outside wall. The 99 hard to the outside wall. Going through 1 and 2, you can see they got really tight. Anthony Wendler went up the track trying to give Terry enough room, but Wormness has to keep it out of the wall, and they get hooked together. They hit the wall hard. Chris Dodd, nowhere to go and hits hard. Then Hanley's going to come in here. He doesn't know where to go. He couldn't slam on the brakes in time. He gets the 31. He gets that. Jefferson nails the 31 hard. Jefferson that gets nailed by the 24. Oh, hard hit there by Griffin Lynn. Michael Gregory, Bray Wyatt up and over. Jeff Bright's the wall hard. Dan Band, Levi Jones, Luke Rainey, Gary May, Grace Acevedo involved. Kevin Bandon. For many of these drivers. See right there, not many spots to go, and Jefferson got nailed hard. Up and over go a few drivers, or just one driver. Jefferson, oh, he got nailed hard. Then Reigns hits the outside wall hard and then comes down to the 9-9. Jeff Bright hits him, and then Luke Rainey hits him. Gary May hits him. Keith Powell hits him, and that flips him over. And they're still wrecking everywhere. Rainey falls back to 4th. Behind them, and they're wrecking with Jay Jefferson going around. Dan Bandon, Kevin Bandon. Oh my gosh. A horrible crash. Kevin Bandon's up and over. Dan Bandon's up and over. The 92, the 5, and the 11 stay. Bandon got turned by Jim Gambit. Wow. Bandon didn't even bounce off the wall. He just got turned by Gambit. Down to Jay Jefferson, innocent bystander right here. Kevin Bandon. They go hard into the inside wall. And then they start shooting back up the track, and that's where it gets nasty. Tyler Lyman hits. Tommy Turbo flips the 55. Then you can see the 8, the 12, the 70. It looks like Kevin Bandon gets flipped by Jay Barker, your points leader. Anthony Wendler comes in here and hits the 11 while he's flipping. And look at how hard these guys hit the inside wall. It's almost like they didn't even hold the brakes there hitting the inside wall. They come back up. And it's just on from there. And a horrible flip. Spun down to the inside wall hard. And they start shooting back up the track. That's where it gets nasty. So probably Sprague tube. I don't know how he threaded that needle, but he did. We have a few onboard cameras to show you. Look at oh, there they go. Hard to the inside wall will go Chris Dodd. Up and over he goes, flipping back up the track. Gets Alex Stewart hard. And Dodd flipping back on all fours. And that sends Dodd hard into the inside wall. That's a hard hit right there. And then he gets hit by the A7 and it flips him over. Here he comes. He almost lands back on all fours. He's flipping up the track now. Here comes Alex Stewart. Bam! Oh. Michael Gregory was back there. He's one of our chasers. He's able to miss it. But Dodd flips wildly in 3 and 4 and flips back on all fours. And Dodd was in the chase eliminated after round 1. He's just had the worst luck for the past 4 or 5 races. And adds on here tonight at Atlanta. That's a tough break for the one team. And hopefully Dodd is okay after that horrible, horrible flip. Jay Parker, they're on the wall. They're around with Gary May. They save it. There's no caution yet. No caution. They're still up against the wall. The caution's going to come out if they wreck. And now the caution will come out. A big wreck up in 3 and 4. Caution will come out. And as you can see, the wreck starts right there. Gary May gets clipped. Tommy Turbo gets clipped. They save it. Somehow TJ Hanley, Jeff Bright, and I think that's Jack Marshall don't run them over. So they're going past here. These guys are still scraping up against each other. I believe they're probably stuck together and they can't get off. And finally, they go around. And then Jack Marshall, Dan Band get hit by Keith Powell. Looks like Bray Wyatt avoids. Does Riley Sprague to be your points leader? He does. Cars come flying in. Gary May gets hit by Jim Gambit. Look at them all down there. Look at Trey Rainey and Gary May go up and over. Look at them still piling in. Griffin Lynn, Michael Gregory. Jason Smeo Sr. has nowhere to go. He flips Gary May again. So May flips about 3 or 4 times. You can see that happens. They're up against the wall. And then entering 3 and 4, they go around. Cars start flying in. And look at Gary May get hit so many times. Kevin Bandon involved. Timothy Heath was upside down. And they're still getting hit. First battle is Kevin Bandon got spun hard into the inside wall. He's coming back up. And it looks like he might have clipped the 60. Oh my goodness. A horrible crash. As Kevin Bandon got rear-ended. And now the big one. Up in 3 and 4. Pushing the car a little bit too much. He's going to get the wall. And Riley Sprague kind of couldn't check up in time. Ran to the back of him. And then spun Bandon hard into the inside wall. We thought that was going to be it. He started sliding back up the track. He got the 60 just a little bit right there of John Gambit. Gambit able to drive away. Cars drive by. And then right there, Hunter Arnsdorf, look at him. rear ends the 11 car, sends him up in the air. Grace Acevedo, the 22, the 79, the 10 got damaged. Look at all these guys now flying in here. The 2 sitting in the middle of the track, the 8 got him, the 1, the 88 possibly, the 92, the 20. A lot of cars involved in this crash. You can see right here, he got spun down to the inside wall. We thought everything would be okay. He's come back up, but that's fine. Everyone's missing. The 85 rear ends him hard. And we have some onboard cameras to show you. Wow. Dan Bandon, Derek Shorts, I can abandon any room because they made contact. Eli keeps pushing up into the 55 and 24, hook into the wall. That's a horrible hit right there for both those drivers. See cars down the inside trying to avoid it. Kevin Bandon just misses it. Other cars come flying on by. Bandon starts rolling down the front stretch. Tommy Turbo just misses it. Kevin Bandon went right past Brother Dan as the 55 ends up on its roof for the 55 and the 24. Both of them, even though the 55 went upside down, that 24 took such a weird hit going up in the air like that. Now let's look at a few onboard cameras of this. Changing leads, a lot of changing. Oh, trouble! Hard to the wall goes Tommy Turbo, up and over! The winner of this race last season in a huge wreck. Jeff Bryant involved. And Arnsdorf made contact. I think Arnsdorf could have been just a little bit higher there. Up into Michael Gregory, and that flips Turbo. Wow. So from winning this race last season to being involved in a horrible crash, Grace Acevedo last season champion caught up. Alex Stewart in the air in that crash. Oh, they're wrecking! And around they go! A big wreck, and Eli Brent gets away with the white flag. The caution will come out, and that's the race. Cars are piled up everywhere, and everyone's going for everything. Alex Stewart's wall comes down to Jay Barker, then Jay Jefferson goes down to John Gambit. Barker gets spun, Alex Stewart hard into the outside wall. Chris Dodd, cars go by on the inside, including Riley Sprayletube. Chris Dodd gets hit with Crash B Fan. Jonathan Rains, TJ Hanley. Jason Smeo Jr. hits Alex Stewart hard. And others start coming in, flying. Trey Rainey hits Jason Smeo Jr. hard, and Josh Crash the same crash up into the catch fence and over. A horrible crash. Luke Rainey coming around the outside of these guys is able to miss everyone. As my oh my, what a wreck for Josh Crash. Gonna hit Trey Rainey, I believe, or Trey Rainey hits someone in the, yep, look at that. That's a horrible crash. Well, we have an onboard camera with a lot of drivers in this wreck.